sir.
गुड मॉर्निंग बेटा.
Excuse me, sir.
हाँ जी बेटा.
सर आप स्टेट ऑफ इमरजेंसी का वीडियो लेक्चर कब अपलोड करोगे?
Good morning, sir.
गुड मॉर्निंग बेटा. चलिए, in the meantime students would join. We'll start our lecture because time is already there. Today we will discuss the topic of center state relations. They're saying in India, before the formation of the federation, the states were not sovereign entities. As such, there were no need for safeguards to protect states. So, if you go back in the history, they're trying to make us understand that before the in India, before the formation of the federation, the states were not sovereign entities. We can say this thing before independence, even the states were not having those powers as we talk about, like in today's time they have. So there was no question, they are saying, though there was no need for the safeguards to protect the states. So यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन ही नहीं उठता था स्टेट्स को किसी तरीके से सेव करने का, उनके बारे में कोई बात करने का. On account of the exigencies of the situation, the Indian Federation has acquired characteristics which are quite different from the American model. So, as you know that Constitution of India is based on many constitutions of the world of the different countries. So here in this situation, they have said that, like we means the constitution makers, or the runners of the country at that time, they did not think of that we should follow any of the other model like the American model, which was very famous. So, what are those relations which are distributed between the state and the center? Again, these are based on three different things. These are legislative, administrative, and financial. They're saying in India, before the formation of the federation, the state were not sovereign entities. As such, there was no need to discuss this thing on account of the on need of the situation.
Excuse me, sir.
हाँ जी बेटा.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Sir, आप अपनी स्क्रीन शेयर कर रहे हैं या नहीं?
स्क्रीन शेयर कर दूं इसके साथ?
सर कर दीजिए.
ठीक, एक मिनट.
सर ये आज का लेक्चर रिकॉर्ड नहीं करना?
हो रहा है रिकॉर्ड, मैंने लगाया हुआ अपने पास स्क्रीन रिकॉर्डर.
सर आप अपनी स्क्रीन रोटेट कर लीजिए.
रोटेशन में कोई दिक्कत आ रही है, अभी हो नहीं रहा है. ठीक है, तो आप अभी इसको आप इस तरीके से चल लें तो अभी. So there are three powers, or the three areas, the main areas which they have said that we need to discuss, that is legislative, administrative, and financial. The residuary powers under the Indian Constitution are assessed to the Union and to the states. However, it may be noted that the Canadian Constitution does not, the same mode of distributing the powers cannot be considered as eroding the federal nature of the Constitution. They're trying to tell you the example, as I already told you, that we have been influenced from a lot of the constitutions of the world, and one country is Canada. They have said that they have got the same model, but the central idea of this is that the center, it gives the powers to the states to run their states. But one thing is there, in a situation and in a sense, federation nature would always be there. Means whenever there will be need of, in the last lecture we have discussed about the emergency power, and we discussed that if there will be situation, central can take the control from the states, and India will become the one country, so there will not be any state. Similarly, so they are trying to make you understand in this thing, like we have followed this format from Canadian Constitution. Though there is a division of powers between the Union and states, the Indian Constitution provides the Union with power to exercise control over the legislation as well as administration of the states. Legislation by a state can be disallowed by the president when revised by the governor for his consideration. The same point we discussed in the last lecture about the emergency, they have said that yes, the powers are separated between both of the parties, we can say one is center and a state, but one should keep this thing into your mind, like whenever there will be need, and the president can take the action, and it will be on the recommendation of governor of the state. The governor is appointed by the president of the union and holds office during his pleasure. Again, these ideas are found in the Canadian Constitution, though not in the Constitution of the USA. So these are the some of the points which we have found from the Canadian Constitution. They have said that these are not available in the American Constitution. The Constitution of India lays down the Constitution of the Union as well as the states, and no state except Jammu and Kashmir has a right to determine its own constitution. So now even we can say this thing, situation is but different. But in Jammu and Kashmir, they have said that it was somewhat different from the other Indian country. That is how probably the 370 it has eliminated, because this was making the state different from the other states. The Constitution, when considering the amendment of the Constitution, we find that except in a few specific matters affecting the federal structure, the state need not even be consulted in a matters of amendment of the Constitution. So the bulk of the Constitution can be amended by a bill in a union parliament being passed by special majority. So of course states have powers, but they have said that they are trying to tell that if there is a need of amendment in the Constitution, uh, actually states, it does not have any of the role into it, because the union parliament, it pass the bill, and this is how they change or they amend the Constitution. Not a change, basically they amend the Constitution. In case of Indian Constitution, while the union is uh, indestructible, the state are not. It is possible for the union parliament to reorganize the states or to alter their boundaries by a simple majority in the ordinary process of legislation. So in legislatory power, when we are discussing, they are saying in case of Indian Constitution, uh, we cannot change union. Union means center. But for the state, if a union wants, if the center wants, can change by just passing a law. सो बाउंड्रीज़ आपके सामने हैं, वो निकल जैसे बिहार में से झारखंड शायद निकल के आया है, इसी तरीके से पंजाब में से हिमाचल एंड हरियाणा निकल के आए हैं. सो दीज केम, यू कैन से दैट बाय पासिंग अ सिंपल बिल इनटू द legislation. The consent of state legislature concerned is not required. The president has only to ascertain the views of the legislature of the affected states. Again, the consent of the state is not required. So that is enough to read. They have said that. So state cannot say this thing, whatever, whenever, or if there is a need or demand. Or it's not like authoritative things like they can do anytime. Like now they come up in a division the Punjab. It's not like that. If demand or a need has of the time, then they can amend the constitution and they could do if they want. Like if they want to, change the boundaries of the state. The ease with which the federal organization may be reshaped by an ordinary legislation by the Union Parliament has been demonstrated by the enactment of the State Recognition Act. So there is an act which gives the power of doing this thing. This is called as State Reorganization Act 1956. A large number of new states have since been formed. इसके बाद बहुत सारी जो new states हैं वो इस powers के द्वारा बनाई गई. We can say this thing, it's kind of a power which have vest into the hands of states. जब state ने कोई नया district बनाना होता है, नया जिला बनाना होता है, तो they do the same thing. So there is ongoing demand in lot of places that these should be they should be made like in the new districts, and they should be separated from the earlier bigger district. But a state, it has to take the decision on it. We can give the example of even our place Khanna, which is part of Ludhiana.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, beta. Ludhiana district. But still, up to now, if I take the example of state has not taken any decision of making this place as a district. So similarly, the power, it goes into the hands of a center when they have to make any of the new state. So they see this thing. People, they come up with their demands, and they see this thing. If there is a need, they do this thing. Under the Indian Constitution, there is no equality of representation of the states in the Council of States. Hence, the federal safeguards against the interest of the lesser states being overridden by the interest of the larger or more populated states is absent under our Constitution. Its federal nature is further affected by having a nominated element of 12 members against 230 representatives of the states and the union territories. They are saying one way or other, we can say this thing. Some states are big, some are small. Like if we take about Punjab, it's a very small state. We have only fewer parliamentary constituencies as compared to UP and Bihar. They have largest number of seats, which comes from these. But our constitution does not allow anybody to, what do you call, been biased just on the basis of that this is a small state or this is a big state. So every state is the same in front of the Constitution. The Constitution of India provides a dual polity with a clear division of powers between the Union and states, each being supreme within the sphere allotted to it. So Constitution is giving the power to both Union and state, and at their places in a normal situation, both are exercising their powers. The Indian Federation is not the result of an agreement between independent units, and the units of Indian Federation cannot leave the Federation. So that is another, a rule which it has, which has mentioned in our Constitution. They have said that like Indian Federation is not result of an agreement between independent units. So it's not like USA. US is made like the agreement between the different states. So that is how they have the stars in their flags, and it represents that by their own choice these states, they have agreed to join the union. But in India's situation is different. They have said that states cannot be different from India. They cannot make independent different unit of theirs. They cannot leave Indian Federation. They are part of India. Yes, the powers are given to them. They can exercise, but it does not mean that if they feel like they want to make their own separate state, they can make it. No. If there will be a demand on making of any of the separate state, center would not accept it. It will never be accepted. There are cases, we know this thing, that because we are a democratic country, we provide freedom to every state to represent themselves. So sometime that representation, it misunderstood in form of like that we have got the right that if we want anytime we can separate ourselves, but it's not like that. Thus, the Constitution contains elaborate provisions to regulate the various dimensions of the relations between the center and states. The legislative, uh, uh, the thus the Constitution contains elaborate provisions to regulate the various dimensions of the relations between center and states. The relations between state and center are divided as legislative relations, administrative relations, and financial relations. So there are three things on basis of they are trying to tell that relations are based on. So we just discussed about some of them. Article 245 to 255 in Part 11th of the Constitutions deal with the legislative relation between the center and the state. Extent of laws made by the Parliament and the legislature of the states. The Parliament can make laws for the whole or any part of the territory of India. Territory of India includes the states, union territories, and any other area for the time being, including in the territory of India. Whereas the state legislature can make laws for the whole or part of the state. So it is very clear over there, as I said, that yes, situation is there. States can run their own states. There is delegation of powers. लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं इसका मतलब ये निकल के नहीं आता है कि स्टेट अपनी मनमर्जी कर सकते हैं इन पावर्स के साथ. उनके अंदर रिस्ट्रिक्शंस हैं एंड जो स्टेट हैं उसके अंदर ये चीज़ नहीं है. अगर हम बात करें, स्टेट जो है अपनी मर्जी के साथ ये चीज़ नहीं कर सकते हैं. सेंटर जो है वो कहीं ना कहीं अपनी पावर्स को एक्सरसाइज कर सकती है और वो चाहे तो दे कैन मेक लॉज फॉर द इंटायर कंट्री और दे कैन मेक लॉज फॉर द स्टेट. The Parliament can make laws for the whole or any part of the territory of India. Territory of India includes this and this services were discussed. किसी का माइक ऑन है बेटा और म्यूज़िक आ रहा है, उसको प्लीज़ बंद कीजिए. किसी का माइक ऑन है, म्यूज़िक की आवाज़ आ रही है. The Parliament can alone make extra-territorial legislation. Thus, the laws of the Indian Parliament are applicable to the Indian citizens and their property in any part of the world. So they are saying ये सब कुछ जो applicable है, that is applicable to the Indian citizens and their property in any part of the world. So the laws, it would only be related to the Indian citizens. Subject matter of laws made by the Parliament and by the legislation of states. बेटा मैं बार बार बोल रहा हूँ, आपका किसी का माइक ऑन है, उसमें से म्यूज़िक की आवाज़ आ रही है, इसको बंद करो. आप क्लास लगा रहे हो, कौन बदतमीज़ है ये? क्लास लगा रहे हो आप कि म्यूज़िक सुन रहे हो? Who is this? कविता मिश्रा. कविता मिश्रा, आपका माइक ऑन है?
Sir, it's over.
Sir, mic off है मेरा.
Sir, it's over, I think.
अरे ये हाल देख लो. Abor Daniel, are you listening? Abor Daniel, are you listening my voice? Okay. The Constitution divides legislative authority between the Union and states in three lists: the Union list, the State list, and the concurrent list. The Union list consists of 99 items. The Union Parliament has exclusive authority to frame laws on subject enumerated in the list. These include foreign affairs, defense, armed forces, communications, post and telegraph, and foreign trade, etc. So, they are saying the Union Parliament has exclusive authority. ऑन सब्जेक्ट मैटर्स कौन कौन से हैं? फॉरेन अफेयर के ऊपर, डिफेंस के ऊपर, आर्म्ड फोर्सेस के ऊपर, कम्युनिकेशन के ऊपर, पोस्ट एंड टेलीग्राफ, फॉरेन ट्रेड, मतलब देयर आर number of areas in which state even cannot talk about. They do not have a right to discuss about the armed forces or these kind of things, so which are matter of the union territory or the union center. The state list consists of 61 subjects on which ordinarily the states alone can make laws. These include public order, police, administration of justice, prison, local governments, agriculture, etc. It has got power to the states as well. Said they are saying like states can also make laws, which includes public order, police of their state, administration of justice of the state. That is how the uh, the judicial courts which run under the states, and prisons, local government, agriculture. So there are number of various, you can say that, departments which run by the states only. Concurrent list comprises of 52 items including criminal and civil procedure, marriage and divorce, economic and special planning, trade unions, electricity, newspaper, books, education, population control, and family planning, etc. Both the parliament and the state legislature can make laws on subjects given in the concurrent list. But the center has a prior and a supreme claim. So, in the third list, first is union list, second is a state list, third is a concurrent list. Concurrent list is kind of a joint list where both can, uh, make laws as according to their, need, but priority is given to the center on this thing. Residuary powers of legislation. The constitution also vests with the residuary powers with the union parliament. The residuary powers have been granted to the union contrary to the convention in other federations of the world, where the residuary powers are given in the states. However, in case of any conflict, whether a particular matter falls under the residuary powers or not is to be decided by the court. So there are situations they are saying when a conflict can be arisen in both the parties, and that would be solved only with the help of court. Like the recent one is, we know this thing that that is of SYL canal, that center has told the state of Punjab that they should share the water with the neighboring states like you know Rajasthan, Haryana, but Punjab is somehow telling that we do not have the sufficient water for ourselves. How can we share this water with the with the other states? So in this case, the court would decide. So both of the parties have taken this problem to the court, and now they would ask the answer from the court that what it should be done. So in that situation, we can say that they take the help from the courts. Parliament's power to legislate on the state list. Though under ordinary circumstances the central government does not possess power to legislate on subject enumerated in the state list, but under certain special conditions, the union parliament can make laws even those subjects. So again, as I've said, that supremacy is given to the center. Only center can decide if they feel like there is a subject matter in which they need to make certain laws in even the state list they can do. Article 249 in the national interest. If the Rajya Sabha declares by resolution supported by not less than 2 by 3rd of its members present and voting that is necessary or expedient in the national interest by the parliament should make laws with respect to any matter enumerated in the state list. They are saying in favor of national interest. If center it feels somehow sometime that they need to make laws, they can make it without seeing this thing that it is the subject matter enumerated in the state list. So they can even make or they can touch those points which are given into the state list. So three lists: center list, state list, and concurrent list. Under proclamation of national emergency, Parliament can legislate on the subject mentioned in the state list when the proclamation of national emergency is operation. However, the laws made by the Parliament under this provision shall cease to have effect on the expiration of a period of 6 months after the proclamation has ceased to operate, except as respects things done or omitted to be done before the expiry of said period. So that is again the national emergency we just discussed in the last lecture, that if there is a need in that they can do this thing, but if they need to increase it for more than of 6 months, they have said that, then they need to again get it approved from the Parliament. By agreement between states, Article 252, what it tells that Parliament can also legislate on the subject if the legislature of two of these more states resolve that it is lawful of Parliament to make laws with respect to any matter enumerated in the state. So, what they are saying, they have said that if there is something or some points are going on between two of the states, and they feel like state should intervene in between of, like as I've told you that the problem if it is going on between Punjab and Haryana, so, and if both of the states they agreed that state, or sorry, center can intervene or should intervene, then Parliament can make, means the center can make laws even for those states, because that has come up due to the you can say the agreement between the states. Then Article 253, to implement treaties. Parliament can make laws for the whole or any part of the territory of India for implementing any treaty, international agreement, or convention with other country or countries. If we have going on relations with the other countries as well. So, by the time countries they make treaties, so if because of that treaty any state is being affected, so even in that case Parliament can make laws. So they need to see this thing, that if this is the case, then again the Parliament, means the center, will have the upper power as compared to the state. Then it is under proclamation of president's rule. So this is again emergency, that if the president rule is going on, again the center can rule the whole entire country, and in which states it comes on. Center's control over state legislation. The Constitution empowers the center to exercise control over the state's legislature in following ways. What are those following ways? The governor can reserve certain types of bills passed by the state legislation for the consideration of the president. The president enjoys absolute veto over them. So, governor can ask president that this is a bill which is made by center or say state, and if uh, president feels that he can present a veto. Veto means this is a power, special power, that if they want to deny something, so they can deny. Bills on certain matters enumerated in the state list can be introduced in the state legislature only with the previous sanction of the president, as imposing restrictions on freedom of trade and commerce. Again, in the second situation, something they want to implement, it should not have the kind of a conflict between president or governor. The president can direct the states to reserve money bills and other financial bills passed by the state legislature for his consideration during a financial emergency. So again, in the third situation, president can also tell them to the states to reserve the money bills for certain time of period, so that power again it is exercised by the president of India. Administrative relations, state and center. The administrative jurisdiction of the union and the state governments extends to the subjects in the union list and the state lists respectively. The constitution thus defines the clauses that deals with the administrative relationship between the center and states. So during normal ties, what is going on? They are saying executive powers of state to be exercised in compliance with the union laws. So whatever laws it is being exercised by the state, it should have a direct compliance with the union laws. Union means the central laws. Article 256 lays down that the executive powers of every state shall be so exercised as to ensure compliance with the laws made by parliament and any existing laws which apply in the state, and the executive power of the union shall extend it to the giving of such directions to a state may appear to the government of India to be necessary for that purpose. So these are the technical lines which are written in the constitutions, and these lines it tells that again the same thing, supremacy or is of center. Executive powers of state not to interfere with executive powers of union. So state cannot, interfere. Article 257 it tells that a state can exercise their powers in their area only, so they cannot do interference in center's area. Maintain means of communication of national or military importance. Again the same thing they are trying to tell. If there is a situation or a circumstance related to national or military importance, state cannot intervene, only union government would take decision on it. Protection of railways, again railways is central department, so issues related to railways, even that is the under the jurisdiction of they are saying union can issue state government necessary directions regarding the measures to be taken for the protection of railways within the jurisdiction of state. So state again has to follow the same of the center's directions. Issue of scheduled tribes or scheduled castes, we can say that. So it needs to be welfare of these, it needs to be ensured by the state, and they are saying center can directly straightaway ask to state governments to ensure the execution of schemes for the welfare of SC/STs. Then to secure instruction in the mother tongue at a primary age of education, union can direct the state governments to secure the provision of adequate facilities for instruction in the mother tongue at the primary stage of education to children belonging to linguistic minority groups. So this is again direction from the center to the state that they should work in such a situation at a primary level at least, so kids of that mother tongue would easily understand that what it is going on into that state. To ensure development of the Hindi language, union can direct the state government to ensure the development of the Hindi language. So we all read Hindi language in our schools, so that is again the direction from the center at certain level. It's not like at certain level, it's not forcefully that when you cross certain age or a certain class you still need to read Hindi, but at certain level they are saying as per the states, you can say that center can direct them, they should follow these things as well. Then we have delegation of unions functions to state. The President of India can entrust to the officers of the state certain functions of union government. So this is again a delegation of unions functions. So state can tell to the officers of states to do the work of center in certain situations, in certain works. They have said that this is called as delegation of powers or delegation of duties. So work is of center, but it is been delegated to the state employees that they should do this thing, that. Appointment of higher dignitaries like governor, we can say that, or the judges of high court, members of state public service commissions, again in hands of center. All India services like IAS, we know this thing, IPS, kind of these services, this will again under the jurisdiction of a center. States will provide the adequate infrastructure, but rule will be of center. Union to adjudicate interstate river disputes. Parliament has been invested with power to adjudicate any dispute or complaint with respect to the use, distribution, or control of the water. So, if there is a conflict of a water going on between two states, Parliament has a reserve right to exclude such disputes from jurisdiction of the Supreme Court or the courts. If center feels like, it's not mandatory. They are saying if center feels like uh, a dispute about the water, especially they have said that is going on between two of the states, so Parliament can take action on it. They can make laws if they wish to on the same thing. So that is about the today's lecture. It is a longer one. We will cover the rest part in the next lecture. If you have any of the question related to the same, you can ask. Any of the question you feel like, you can ask about today's lecture. Yes, students. So okay, let me first of all